The live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender is out, and now it's time to learn more about its cast. What makes Gordon Cormier similar to Aang? How did Kiawentiio channel Katara on the set? And who was intimidated by Daniel Day Kim?
It's gonna be interesting.
Gordon Cormier as Aang. Finding an actor for this role was quite a difficult task. Mostly, it was because the crew wanted the casting to be age-appropriate. So they strove to find an actor who'd be around 11 or 12 years old to play Aang. And when they saw Gordon's audition, they realized how lucky they were. Not only was the actor 12 at the time, but he also had everything they needed, even a martial arts background. Gordon has been doing taekwondo since he was 4, but he still had to put quite a lot of effort into preparing for the role. And one part of his training was especially important.
You and the backflips, Gordon.
Yeah, the young actor had to do a lot of them.
I would just drill backflips, and they'd be like, we're gonna go higher on this one, flip slower, over and over and over again for hours.
Sure, it was quite a challenge, but overall, the training wasn't that hard for Gordon because of his energy level.
A lot of the stunt crew would refer to me as like an Energizer bunny at the time.
And it was pretty cool because Aang is totally similar.
Aang is such a high energy character, and I could bring that into the show with stunts and training and all that.
Although Gordon hadn't watched Avatar before being cast, he quickly became a fan.
I watched the show 26 times.
And how many times have you watched it? You also should know that playing Aang isn't Gordon's first acting experience. His debut role was in the comedy drama Get Shorty 5 years ago. Now 14, the actor is happy about his newfound fame. And he's also glad to represent his ethnicity. He's part Canadian and part Filipino. His co-star can certainly relate to that. Kiawentiio as Katara. Even before she joined the cast, the actress was a huge fan of the animated series.
You know, I grew up watching the show, I grew up loving the show.
And guess who was her favorite character?
I feel like I relate so much to Katara.
It was Kiawentiio's dream to play her, and when she landed the role, the actress couldn't help but cry. But it wasn't easy to learn how to move like a waterbender.
To get my body understanding those things and like ready for by the end of the show where I'm really like a master of my element.
Kiawentiio didn't only perfectly portray Katara on the screen, it turns out that she also managed to channel her character in real life, because here's what her co-stars think about her.
We have little sis here, but she's also mom.
Quite a familiar group dynamic, huh?
Are you a motherly figure?
I am, I've been told.
You're keeping them in line, aren't you?
Yeah, for sure.
Such a Katara. For 17-year-old Kiawentiio, it's also not the first role. She made her acting debut in the 3rd season of the CBC series Anne with an E. Coming from a Mohawk family, she's happy to make a stir in the movie industry, just like her on-screen brother. Ian Ousley as Sokka. When he landed the role, the actor knew that there was at least one thing that he had to do, to be funny. If you watch the original animated show, you remember that Sokka has always been a comic relief, and he's no different in the adaptation. All thanks to Ian.
I love comedy stuff, so like every day on set I was trying to like find different ways to like integrate that into our script.
Sure, adapting a fun scene from a cartoon into a live action set wasn't always easy.
Sometimes in the animated show they're doing stuff that like literally you physically can't do, like
Right.
you know, running around and like doing 6 backflips and like falling on your head into snow, and then Sokka just like walks away from it.
Share in the comments below if you agree that Ian preserved his character from the original. The Last Airbender is the first big project for the 21-year-old actor. Before that, you could see him in small roles in Big Shot and 13 Reasons Why. Like Gordon, Ian also practiced taekwondo from an early age, and he even has a 3rd-degree black belt. These days, the mixed-race Native American actor has a bright future ahead due to his talent. He certainly won't stop, and neither will his co-star. Dallas Liu as Zuko. Here's another big fan of the OG.
Getting to live out my childhood dream of being a firebender.
Dallas didn't need much time to settle into his character.
Naturally just felt like I was living in this world of the Avatar.
And here's what made the transition even easier. Dallas has been practicing martial arts since he was 5 years old. Plus, he competed internationally until he was 13. Yet the actor still felt a huge responsibility striving to play Zuko right. So he even contacted Dante Basco, who voiced the character in the OG, and he got a blessing from him. It was such a rewarding feeling to see how supportive he was of the decisions that I made for the role. He was absolutely cheering me on, Dallas shared. But there's one more reason why playing Zuko was pretty easy. Turns out, filming Agni Kai with his on-screen father, Fire Lord Ozai, there wasn't much acting involved, all because Dallas was so scared of Daniel Day Kim.
him with his shirt off, you know, acting like he's gonna punch you in the face is enough for me to get into character.
Landing the part of Zuko was certainly a gift for the actor. 22-year-old Dallas even says that he'd take a break from acting if he didn't get it. After all, he only played small roles on TV and in movies before that. And now, he's ready to show off his talent to the world and talk about his Chinese, Indonesian roots. His on-screen uncle is there to help him with that. Paul Sun-Hyung Lee as Uncle Iroh. The actor was excited to join the show because of its diverse cast.
That's special. When you see a wall of faces that look like your own, it's amazing.
Paul loved working with everyone else. He says that Gordon is a revelation, while Kiawentiio is already a crafted actress. Dallas completely blew him away with their first rehearsal, and Ian made him laugh many times. What's more, Lee is a huge fan of The Last Airbender, so it's no wonder that the actor was excited about making the live-action series.
I'm nerding out. I'm living my best geek life ever.
The South Korean-Canadian actor has quite an accomplished career. He's mostly known for starring in the soap opera Train 49 and in the play Kim's Convenience, as well as its TV adaptation. Besides, Lee portrayed Captain Carson Teva in The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. He's also happy in his personal life. Paul has been married to Anna Lee for over 2 decades. They're proud parents of their 2 sons and a dog. The actor often posts photos of himself with his wife and kids on Instagram, so he's certainly quite a family man. And what about his on-screen brother? Daniel Dae Kim as Fire Lord Ozai. This man isn't new to the world of The Last Airbender. In the original series, he voiced Earth Kingdom officer General Fong. And in the sequel, The Legend of Korra, he also gave his voice to Asami's father, Hiroshi Sato. It certainly felt like a promotion to get to play the Fire Lord himself in the live-action series. Kim likes the complexity of his character and even calls him the Darth Vader of this show. For a large part, it's because Ozai is so unapologetic about his beliefs. The actor also highlighted how much influence the Fire Lord has on the entire series and its characters. He doesn't have a lot of screen time, but you feel him whenever you see Zuko or Azula, Kim commented. It was really special for Daniel to see his co-stars on the set. Like when Paul turned into Uncle Iroh and Gordon got his arrow on the head.
The costumes and the hair and makeup were so good, and the sets were so specific that it really transported us.
In the Avatar cast, Daniel is probably the most experienced actor. He became famous 20 years ago for playing Jin in Lost. He then solidified his fame with roles in Hawaii Five-0, Angel, and The Good Doctor. Kim is quite accomplished in his personal life as well. He's been married to his wife, Mia Ree, since 1993. They have 2 sons together and are still going strong. And here's a random fact about Daniel. He's an avid collector of fine vintage watches. Sometimes he even shows them off in his projects and interviews. Have you noticed any? And have you already watched the live-action Avatar series? Share in the comments below what you think about it and watch our other videos on OSSA.